Welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan Lugo. Thank you so much for tuning in here on Wednesday, October 25th. Today, can the Jaguars earn the 1 seed in the AFC? It'll be a huge task for the Jaguars, but a task that would give them home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs in 2023. We'll see if we think they can do that here. We're going to get into Jaguars at Steelers tomorrow, start previewing that game, getting deep into that one. The Steelers, they're 4-2, so they have a nice little record as well. I don't know that they've looked like a 4-2 team so far, but we'll get into that later on. For now, can the Jaguars earn the 1 seed in the AFC? If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can also check out genjag.com/shop, pick up some new Duval gear. I'll bury the lead right now. I think the Jaguars can earn the 1 seed in the AFC. Their offense clearly headed in the right direction. A ton of talent, a ton of firepower. Trevor Lawrence leading the thing, and then of course Doug Peterson and Press Taylor dialing it up. I think the defense is playing great. You know, they're really, really good against the run. They've also been great against the pass as of late. So I think the Jaguars are a team heading in the right direction at 5-2. They're tied for the second best record in the conference with the Ravens and the Dolphins behind the Chiefs, who are 6-1. Big surprise there with Kansas City on top, right? But if the Jaguars stop shooting themselves in the foot so much, which they are still doing a little bit too often, especially on the offensive side of the ball, and get a little lucky here and there, I think that they could very well be the 1 seed in the AFC. We'll talk about kind of the schedule, some pivotal games coming up for the Jaguars and for these other teams that are in the race with the Jaguars right now. Again, I think it's a 4-horse race right now. Certainly things could change. Other teams could enter the fray. But as of right now, it looks like the Chiefs, Dolphins, Ravens, and Jaguars are going to be competing for those top 4 spots. Again, things could change, but that's how it looks right now. The Jaguars, they have 3 AFC South games left. So you have 2 against the Titans, which is a team that's clearly headed in the wrong direction right now, and 1 against the Houston Texans at Houston. The Jaguars have been better at Houston than they've been against the Texans in Jacksonville. Will they win that game? I'm not sure. I think that they're a better team than the Texans, but obviously last time the two teams played, it was not pretty for the Jaguars. Talk about shooting yourself in the foot, mental mistakes. They were all there for the Jaguars in that game. They really piled up. But the Jaguars, again, 3 AFC South games. I think you can easily go 2-3, if not 3-0. Or excuse me, 2 of 3, if not 3 of 3 in that situation. They played the Bengals, Ravens, and 49ers all at home in Jax. Their 3 biggest matchups left on the schedule are all home games, which I think is greatly beneficial for the Jaguars. Talking about being able to play the Bengals Monday Night Football in Jacksonville, the Ravens and 49ers in Jacksonville. I think that helps you out. You'd rather play them in Jax than play them on the road, no doubt about it. Again, I mentioned they played the Steelers this weekend. They also play the Bucks, Panthers, and Browns on the road. I think you look at those 3 games or 4 games, I think the Jaguars will be favored in all 4 at this point. If you had to bet on that right now, I think the Jaguars would be favored in all 4 of those games. So you look at that, I think that the schedule's not too bad for the Jaguars. I think it's fairly favorable. So I think if you handle business against the teams that you should beat, you finish the season with only 2 more losses, which I know sounds pretty crazy, but sitting at 5-2, it is realistic to see the Jaguars potentially finish this season with just 2 more losses based on the schedule they have in front of them. And if they execute the way they need to, that would put them at 13-4. And I think that's what they would have to do to get into that conversation for the 1 seed. Expecting the Chiefs to lose 3 more games might be a pipe dream, but stranger things have happened, right? I do think 3 losses, if they have 3 losses the rest of the way, will be too many to get within that 1 seed range of the Chiefs probably. I think if you end the season 12-5, the Chiefs are probably going to be a good game or 2 ahead of you at least. So I think that would be 3 losses would be too much for the Jaguars if they're going to earn the 1 seed. But I think 2 could definitely put them in that picture. There are some big games in the AFC when you talk about this battle for AFC seeding at the top, though. The Chiefs and Dolphins, they play in Germany. That's going to be huge, obviously. Whoever loses that game is going to be knocked down a peg. I guess if you're looking for the Jaguars to try to get to the 1 seed, you would want the Dolphins to win that game, beat the Chiefs, and then the Chiefs would be sitting there with 2 losses. The Jaguars and the Ravens, as I mentioned, they play in Jacksonville, so that will be huge for the seeding between those 2 teams. And then the Dolphins and Ravens, they play in Baltimore in week 17. So that could be a massive matchup in that regard as well. So again, I think if the Jaguars handle their business against the teams that they're favored against, and they're able to beat the Ravens in Jacksonville, then you have the Dolphins take down the Chiefs, the Ravens take down the Dolphins. There could be a scenario here where the Jaguars are sitting at the top of the AFC when the regular season ends. I think, though, more likely than not is the Jaguars finish with the 2 or 3 seed. I do think that they will be able to get in front of one of the Ravens or Dolphins. For me, it's probably more likely the Dolphins, because while the Dolphins have an insane offense, truly insane, the amount of speed that they have, Mike McDaniel dialing it up, Tua playing well, they do not have a very good offensive line, and they do not have a very good defense right now. Now, the defense could improve when they get some guys back out there, Jalen Ramsey, of course. But for me, I think that looking at the AFC right now, the Jaguars, Ravens, and Chiefs are the 3 most complete teams. All 3 of those teams are good on both sides of the ball right now and respectable on special teams. So I think those are my top 3 teams in the AFC right now. If I had to predict right now, I would say the Jaguars end up finishing with the 2 seed in the AFC, but I think 2 to 3 seed is the most likely scenario, with probably the worst case scenario being them being the 4 seed hosting a home wild card game, because I think the Jaguars will handle their business for the most part. Will they go on a great run to end the season? Not sure about that, but I do think they'll do enough to wrap up the AFC South and be the AFC South champions, be the 4 seed at worst, host a home playoff game. So you can look forward to that in most likely scenario. But I think the Jaguars, for me, 2 to 3 seed is going to probably be able to be achievable for the Jaguars. But got to handle your business against the Steelers this weekend, who are a surprising 4-2 team. They're winning some games. They're not doing it in a pretty fashion. They don't have the best offensive design right now, offensive play caller, maybe lacking a little bit in the creativity department, but they have talent on both sides of the ball. There's no doubt about that. They have leadership at the top with Mike Tomlin, and you're going into Pittsburgh trying to beat them. Not going to be an easy task, but we'll get into that tomorrow. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. Hit me up on Twitter at Jordan DeLugo. Let me know what you think. Where do you think the Jaguars will finish the 2023 regular season, entering the postseason? What seed will they get in the AFC? Let me know on Twitter at Jordan DeLugo. Follow Generation Jaguar at Generation Jag. Hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube, notification bell. You can also drop a comment in the comment section below. Let me know where you think the Jags will finish. And if you enjoy the content and you want to support the channel even further, you can check out genjag.com/shop. Pick up some new Duval gear. Y'all have a good one.